Walter and Elsie Cowan had an incredible story to tell after their last visit to Sai Baba. Mrs. Cowan lives in Santa Ana, California. Her husband died in June 1973.
It was on Christmas that I was taken sick with pneumonia and died on Christmas Eve, about 2.5, 3 hours later. My lungs filled up with phlegm and I just smothered to death.
The hotel had been alerted and a doctor was on his way.
The doctors pronounced that I was dead, and they loaded me into this morgue wagon and shut the door, but it didn't lock. And every time it would stop at a crossing, my body would roll back and forth, and when it stopped or started up, it would roll the other way, and I was very much afraid my body was going to go out onto the street. I knew I was dead, but my consciousness kept going along at all times. And I tried to convey to the drivers to shut the back door, lock it, and they, of course, I couldn't get through to them at all. And I was fretting about that until we got to the morgue, and they took me out, and the two men carried me in the stretcher and dumped me on the bed. And didn't straighten my legs out. One leg was above the other, and I was quite concerned about the lack of feeling or care they were giving to me. I could see it, but I couldn't convey anything to them. The nurse came in and straightened my body out and put cotton in my mouth and nose and in my ears and pulled a sheet up over my head. And I was thoroughly satisfied then, and I sort of figured that was the end of my body and I was completely free. I had absolutely no fear at any time, and dying is a pleasure. It is not a hardship. And then I found myself in a great hall with Sai Baba alongside of me. Sai Baba talked with me while I was there in this large hall and asked me whether I wanted to return to my body or not. I thought of my wife, and there is a definite inborn feeling in every man to preserve his body and his physical life. And that had quite a factor, I think. If it wasn't for that innate desire, there probably wouldn't be too many people on earth. Well, Sai Baba said that I did not complete the work that I had intended to do, that I was born to do. And he arose and addressed the judge, and very respectfully, and the judge was very respectful to him. He knew him apparently very well. And he said, this soul has not completed the work that he was born to do. And I most respectfully ask that this soul be returned to his body in order that he might complete the work that he was born to do and to further my work. And the judge looked at us for a second or two and said, so be it.
And then we were told that Baba came in the night and took off the sheet and undressed his nose and eyes and whatever they do at that time, and rubbed Babudi on his chest and breathed the breath of life in him.
And the next thing I knew, I was right back standing alongside my body, back in the hospital. Then I opened my eyes and I looked at my body and I said, I might have made this mistake in deciding to return to it. It seemed like going right back into a cesspool. And I hesitated, and I said, I'm into it now, I might as well carry it on. And so I went into my body And that very instant, I was right back into the old grind of breathing and trying to get my breath and going through all the sufferings of a person as sick as I can be and still be alive. And I opened my eyes and saw my wife. I said, "You look beautiful in pink."
Inside Swami's house, a remarriage ceremony is being performed for Walter and Elsie Cowan of Santa Ana, California. Walter, aged 84, succumbed in Madras. Baba came to the hospital and raised him from the dead. The doctor, who later tested Walter, found his diabetic condition and diseased kidneys cured. As Walter was reborn, Baba said that he would perform a remarriage ceremony.
Baba has been saying, you know what actually happened to your husband in Madras.
I sure do. He died in my arms, I ought to know.
He died in your arms.
That's right.
Well, I have something to say here too, I think. At the time I passed out there, fighting a lot of pain, and I was in perfect calm, and Baba was right there. And before the seat of judgment, they outlined all my past existence as a soul. Baba spoke up and said, "I want the soul." They said, "So be it."
He walked you back in order that he may perform this function.
Sai Baba here miraculously produces a beautiful jewel-encrusted pendant for Elsie and matched ruby wedding rings for them both. Baba says this about the power which works these manifestations. He says it is wrong to call them miracles. It is only evidence, not exhibition. It is just like a play, sport, my natural behavior. It is a sign which helps to turn men into faith, devotion, inquiry, and realization of their own Atma. As the intention of the will arises in the mind, the thing is made. It is ready when I want it. The moment it is willed, the thing comes to hand or happens where I will it to happen.
to breathe in